You're welcome, brothers, to another battlecast, and this time I'm playing the Vampire Coast, and we are going to face up against the Lizardmen. And you can already see Luther Harkin on his Death Shriek Terrorgeist in the background, and I think this is a quite decent pick against the Lizardmen. In my opinion, the best pick against the Lizardmen when it comes to the Lord, cause of course this Death Shriek Terrorgeist over here has no anti-large bonus whatsoever like his brother from the Vampire Counts, but this version over here has therefore more AP damage. And all of you know the dinosaurs are very well armored, and to pierce that armor, to crush the dinosaurs, this is also very useful, and at least you have some aerial threat. Of course the Lizardmen also have some flying units, but if you bring Luther Harkin on the Death Shriek Terrorgeist, I'm pretty sure you have the aerial threat and at least a good amount of mobility on the battlefield. So I think this is the best pick against the Lizardmen, in my opinion. So let's come to my other stuff. You can see I brought two groups of carronades, and nothing to say about these cannons over here. These guys causing a devastating amount of damage to the dinosaurs, and for this reason they are very useful. But in addition to that, I brought the gunnery wight. And I don't brought him just for fun. I think this is really a quite decent pick if you bring two carronades, because this guy can increase the performance of your artillery or your ranged units a lot. He's quite similar to the Master Engineer from the Dawi or the Warlock Engineer from this game. He's a supporting unit for your artillery. And I made some tests in several games, and I think he's quite a good unit, even if the price is not really cheap. So the price with some abilities enabled is about 1000 credits. That is not really cheap, and you also have to pay for the carronades, so you spend a lot of money in artillery stuff. But even though you can see over here, I activated the enchanted ballistics ability that increased the accuracy of your cannons by 60%, and that means nearly you hit with every shot, you don't miss anything. And also that increased the reload skills by 20. And this is a lot of stuff. And he's also able to refill the ammunition of your cannons with a ability. And this ability you can activate 4 times, I think. So if you run out of ammunition with your cannon, you can refill the ammunition with the gunnery wight. Not completely, but a little bit. And I think this can really pay off. This is a really good unit if you spend a lot of money in your artillery. So this gives you some extra powder, and also here this ability called extra powder is also activated constantly. And so he's a really good supporting unit, and in my opinion, if you need artillery, this can really pay off, especially in this matchup. My cannons are well protected from the zombie parent deckhand mob with pole arms. And let's come to my front line. I brought Death Guard with pole arms, and these guys are of course devastating for the dinosaurs, because these guys have an anti-large bonus of 30. Their amount of armor is quite good with 90, and they are anti-large, as I said, with the anti-large bonus, but they don't have any charge defense against large foes. But even though they are performing of course very, very well against the dinosaurs. And to fight the Lizardmen infantry, the Saurus warriors, I brought the Depth Guard, the normal version with axes, and Berserker Axe infantry, and these guys slice and dice, or let me say they perform very well against Saurus warriors, even against the shield version. Against the Temple Guards, they are probably not winning against the Temple Guard, but against the Saurus warriors the performance is very good, and of course Skin Cohort and the Lizardmen infantry overall, except for the Temple Guard. Then zombies overall, so we have a normal zombie pirate deckhand mob with pole arms, of course also to hold the line a little bit against the dinosaurs, but of course they are meat shield, nothing special. And last but not least, I brought these black spot zombie pirate gunnery mob with handguns, because these guys causing armor piercing missile damage, and this is also very good to pierce the missiles, the armor of the dinosaurs, and for this reason one group over here can pay off in this matchup, in my opinion. So let's come to my opponent, and you can already see I talked now 50 seconds, and you can see this guy, this Asian Stegodon, is nearly complete, shattered or that. And this is what I mean. With extra powder, with the gunnery wide, with 2 carronades, you causing a devastating amount of damage to the dinosaurs, and that really fast. So you can kill an Asian Stegodon within a minute. And this is what I mean. So you can see he's nearly dead now. And this is a lot of money over here. This is an Asian Stegodon. This is not a Bastillodon or something. This is a lot of money over here. He's completely damaged, completely shattered. So on the right flank over here we have skin cohorts with javelins and a feral Bastillodon. Then he brought Cold One Riders, 2 groups, to have at least some mobility, of course. A skin skirmisher, so a lot of skirmishing over here typically for the Lizardmen, of course. And this is also, of course, a strength, I would say, because yeah, we don't have too much units of the Vampire Coast to handle it against skirmishers. Not so much mobility on the side of the Vampire Coast, but therefore you have your artillery and stuff like that. Then we have Saurus Warriors with shields, a group of Temple Guard, and these guys, of course, very well. 1 or 2 groups against the Vampire Coast is very good in my opinion, even also again to fight large entities from the Vampire Coast and stuff like that. Then Saurus Warriors with shields, Saurus Spears with shields, Master Mundi, and last but not least the Bastillodon with a solar engine. But anyway, let's start the fight over here. And you can see we have here a charge in the feral Bastillodon now charging in my zombie pirate deckhand mob, and these guys get annihilated, of course. And also it's the feral Bastillodon is not really wealthy from a Death Guard. We can see a ruination of cities going down, causing a quite good amount of damage, but not that much. It's quite random. Charge in the front line. Death Guard with pole arms fighting Saurus Warriors. They are really able to hold the line against these guys over here. My zombie pirate deckhand mob fighting the Temple Guard. Of course, the Temple Guards will annihilate these guys over here, but overall it looks quite good. I started immediately to shoot on Master Mundi with all my firing power, with the carronades, with the black spot, with all that stuff, and you can see how much damage he now took already from that. Nearly half of his health is gone, and the Asian Stegodon is already dead, so it runs quite well. And also on this side I was really able with the zombie pirate deckhand mob. These guys are really good, even if this is a very low tier unit. These guys are quite okay for fighting against dinosaurs and stuff like that. Of course they need support. You can see Luther Harkin is here on his Deathshriek Terrorgeist to fight the feral Bastillodon. As I said, if this would be the Terrorgeist from the Vampire Counts, the performance would be much better. But even though with all his AP damage, I think this is quite decent. So on this side I cleared everything up, and of course I noticed I took a lot of damage from the skirmishers, so I sent it 1 unit to force them away over here. Meanwhile the Bastillodon is still shooting. I was really able to kill Master Mundi with the carronades. Everything is going quite fast over here. But the Lizardman infantry is performing quite well. You can see the zombie pirate deckhand mob are not able to hold the line against the feral cold ones, the Saurus Warriors with shields. And also here in the middle my opponent won the fight with the infantry, so very good. Just the Depth Guard with pole arms are really able to hold the line or to fight very well against the Saurus Warriors. In the background, also very good gameplay of my opponent. He immediately started to attack the black spot over here to kill these guys, to kill these zombies over here. But as I said, it is very, very fast. If you have 2 groups of carronades and 1 group of the black spot, the damage output is gigantic. So it was really, really fast that he lost the Asian Stegodon and Master Mundi. So of course I started on the right flank to attack the Saurus Warriors with shields from behind, some rear charges over here, and now of course they shattered, and the Death Guard over here, and the Death Guard with pole arms, the Saurus Warriors get sandwiched completely. In the middle we have just a very healthy group of Temple Guard, and I think 1 unit is not enough. You need at least 2 units to to win the infantry fight over all 2 units is would be really a problem, I think, for the Vampire Coast. So Dragon Breath going down from Luthor Harken, or from the Death Shriek Terrorgeist. I don't think this is named. This is not a Dragon Breath. It's just a breath attack, you would say. I'm not sure. The Feral Basiladon is coming back, but you can see here Luthor Harken on his Death Shriek Terror is causing a lot of damage to the Feral Basiladon. Is really able to kill him. But in the background you can see the Skink Skirmishers constantly shoot on Luthor Harken, and he takes some damage from that. And I noticed that, of course, and I thought, okay, I have to retreat over here. Meanwhile, my infantry was able to attack the Saurus Warriors with shields, with spears, with shields in the background. But the Temple Guards is still online and still quite healthy. But I would still say I won also the infantry fight, even if it was not that clear. Now Luthor Harken is starting to attack here the Saurus Warriors to support my troops on this side over here. They get terrified immediately. Terror kick in, now they're routing off. And here the Temple Guards, as I said, still quite healthy, very elite infantry unit. And I don't know if it was that healthy for Luthor Harken to charge in over here. Probably a mistake to charge in. But even though I killed some models, but Luthor Harken also get a lot of damage. In the background I was able to kill these Saurus Warriors with spears over here. Now we have a mass rout, and that's it. So it was really fast. Just a short example, as I said, 2 carronades, gunnery white, and these guys are devastating to all large entities. You'll probably win the fight against all dinosaurs. This is what I can tell you, because you will hit with every shot with your carronades, and gunnery white is supporting very well. So against large entities this works quite well. But if your opponent with the Lizardmen brings a all infantry build, for example, if he would have brought more infantry units like Temple Guards, like Saurus Warriors and stuff like that, I would be really screwed with this build, of course. But I think the Death Guard with pole arms performing very well. Also against infantry units are really able to hold the line. They are very elite, causing AP damage. And the Death Guard is really good against nearly all Lizardmen infantry units except for the Temple Guard. But thank you for the match. Thank you, Auditoy, for that match, and see you next time on the ladder. And thank you for tuning in, brothers, and see you on my next Battlecast. Peace out.